What is happening there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are going to watch House of the Dragon Episode 6 today. John, how are you?
I am nervous and excited. How are you?
I am excited, not nervous. I have utter faith in
Well, you know we're doing a time jump. We're getting some new faces.
I'm sure it's going to be fine.
It'll be great.
I have the utmost faith in this show.
So do I.
Ladies and gentlemen, one thing I want to mention really quick is if you happen to see those like spam messages going about of like, hey, you won, congratulations. It's happening on a lot of YouTube channels. I keep blocking as many of these accounts as possible, but they keep creating new ones. Please do not respond to them. We've had a few followers who have already like given out contact information. Please do not do it. That is not us. Want to make that clear. Secondly, leave a like because I just decided to look out for you guys.
Yeah, so you deserve a pat on the back in the form of an upvote.
Yeah, leave a like and subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when our reaction for the next episode is out. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think of this particular one. Also, full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with your own copy of House of the Dragon available for our super sexy rejects at our Patreon page. We cover several shows over there exclusively with reaction highlights and watch-alongs included. Thank you to all who have joined us so far. Your support means the world. And lastly, the team of Prepper. Thank you for helping us edit down these highlights. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what's going on in today's episode. Without modern medical practices, so much more unsettling.
Whether successful or unsuccessful, births in this show are quite unsettling.
A boy, princess.
Brave mother.
Healthy.
Kicking like a goat, princess.
Wow.
What a reintroduction.
Yeah, what a moment.
The queen has requested that the child be brought to her immediately.
Oh my God.
Oh, Christ.
I'll take him myself. You should remain a bed princess.
Yes, I should. Help me dress.
God, I love this show. So gripping.
I know. Talk about a oneer.
A boy. I've just heard.
Yes.
Hold on.
Oh my.
No connection.
Oh my.
What could she possibly want? Sir Laenor, it is a privilege to be amongst the first to congratulate you.
Thank you, Lord Caswell.
If I may be of any service.
The day may yet come, my lord.
We got it from here, John Malkovich.
Has to contain everything.
I know.
That's an impressive ass crane shot. Oh.
Princess?
Wow.
Yeah, you haven't aged a day.
What was that conversation last week?
Talia, fetch a cushion for the princess.
There's no need.
Nonsense.
What happy news this morning.
He lives.
Just barely.
Does the babe have a name yet?
We haven't spoken.
Joffrey.
Great name.
Yeah.
I do hope the labor was easy.
I think I called the midwife.
That's the Rhanerya I know.
Do keep trying, Selena. Sooner or later you may get one who looks like you.
Oh,
man. Woof.
Think to consult me before you name my child.
He's our child, is he not?
Which means I get to name him.
Any one of us is bleeding.
I deserve some say in the affairs of my own family.
Don't seem so interested in our affairs of late.
I was waiting for that.
We chose an egg for the baby.
That looks like the perfect one.
Not every day an egg thieves the dragon pit princess, I thought it best.
Is that his baby?
Another boy, I heard.
Oh my God, it is their baby.
She got a thing for her guards.
Call Vermax to heal Princess Larys.
The hiring.
Young young Chris Pratt.
Once they're fully bound to you, they will refuse to take instruction from any other.
Can I say it?
Dracarys.
Dracarys, Vermax.
That poor goat.
You're the only one of us without a dragon.
Indeed.
So, we found one for you.
Oh no.
Behold, the pink dread. Be sure to mount her carefully. First flight's always rough.
He's gonna take that pig and make it the fiercest in the realm.
It's just going to be a brothel of dragons.
Just laying eggs all over each other. Say the words.
He tried.
It's a wonder to me their eggs ever hatched.
Why is that?
You know why.
I'm afraid I don't.
Don't!
I had a black mare once. One day she escaped her pasture, and the neighboring stallion sired a foal on her. When it was born, just the most unremarkable brown horse you ever saw.
Okay.
Nature is a thing of mysterious works.
It's a very Viserys answer.
I am so worried about what Alicent's going to do.
Yeah. I'm afraid he will eventually someday die and it's all going to come out.
The Princess Rhanerya is brazen and relentless. A spider who stings and sucks her prey dry. Spoiled.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Yes.
Homelander.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it? The pig. Was it your plot?
No, it was the two of them. I couldn't be sure.
Edmund is your brother.
Oh, he's a...
We are family.
Ouch.
Rhaenyra will ascend the throne, and Viserys Targaryen will be her heir. Your very life could be forfeit.
Then I will not...
You are the challenge! You are the challenge, Aegon! Simply by living and breathing! You are the king's firstborn son. And what they know, what everyone in the realm knows, in their blood and in their bones, is that one day you will be our king.
Alicent, you're scary. All these years, Alicent's been on the same anxiety-riddled mission.
God, what a curse it was to marry the king. Whoa. Oof.
These guys have just been dealing with this shit all these years.
A permanent residence here in Pentos. This manse I would gift to you, outright.
We are travelers. We've already extended our visit here.
It's a most generous offer. And one we will certainly entertain.
So they must have really hit it off after Rhaenyra's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good life here. Welcomed and feted.
And eternally guessed.
Precisely.
They are using us.
It's refreshing, isn't it?
I want my child to be born where I was born, on Driftmark. And at my end, I want to die a dragon rider's death.
Just when I thought he got way more vulnerable.
I
Just
know.
like, oh, we're still here.
I'm done. What are you?
Suffer Soften your knees. Feet light.
Your feet light, your hands heavy.
This is the stuff, Lyonel.
My dude, you're turning into the Crypt Keeper.
Don't stand too upright, my prince. You'll get knocked down.
Then you get up again.
They're never going to keep you down.
I have to do better than that.
Eh.
Weapons up, boys. Give your enemies no quarter.
Boys. You mean sons?
Children of mine?
Question my method of instruction, sir.
Oh, I merely suggest that method be applied to all your pupils.
Very well.
I will kill the Targaryen lads.
Eldest son against eldest son.
It's hardly a fair match.
I know you've never seen true battle, sir, but when steel is drawn, a fair match isn't something anyone should expect.
God, surprised Criston still has a job.
I know. I'm surprised he's so chill right now.
I'll deal with him.
This episode's actually giving me season 1 Game of Thrones vibes.
Yeah.
Close with him. Press him backward. Close with him. Stay on the attack. Use your feet.
He's really playing favorites.
This is what you teach, Cole. Cruelty. For the weaker opponent.
Your interest in the Princeling's training is quite unusual, Commander. Have that kind of devotion toward a cousin, or a brother, or a son.
Don't you're revealing your cards, man.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be chiller than that.
Oh, damn. Criston's getting a taste of his own medicine from a few years ago.
Say it again! Say it again!
Flawless match.
He's so like bitter and angry and envious.
Hey. Positively green.
The son of a steward.
He is a knight of the King's Guard now.
Sail Prince.
A defender of future heir to the throne.
You have laid us open to accusations of an uglier treachery.
Yeah, dude.
Your intimacy with the Princess Rhaenyra is an offense that would mean exile and death. For you, for her, for the children. This flimsy shield alone stands between you and the headsman.
Those babies don't look black at all.
I know. I feel like you could have seen this coming.
I have played my part here.
You do not desert your post when the storm lashes.
The wise sailor flees the storm as it gathers.
I really love this dialogue.
Yep.
And man, is everyone in pain in this show.
As your princess and the heir to the throne, you are commanded to remain in King's Landing and at my side.
Just try popping a real one.
Yeah, please.
Just one real one.
I feel like you guys really could have saved yourselves so many headaches.
Like some type of witch potion equivalent to a Viagra.
Yeah.
There's got to be something.
Or a way to, just turkey baster.
But if you wish to be a rider, you must claim that right. Your father will tell you the same.
Father ignores me.
He's doing his best.
I really like her. She's the only one with like a gracious heart.
Yeah.
Everyone else is so emotionally retreated now. They've all had to compromise at great cost of their own happiness.
Rhaenyra has delivered another son.
Does your brother mention if this one also bears a marked but entirely coincidental resemblance to the commander of the city?
Oh. That was a sick burn.
Perhaps I too am not the wife you would have wished for yourself.
Laena.
I have made my peace. But you are more than this statement. The man I married was more than this.
You two must go to the counseling of couples.
Next episode. Calling a maester.
Brackens and the Blackwoods will use any excuse to spill each other's blood. This dispute bears looking into. There will be country folk who know where the lines have been drawn for generations.
That is easy enough.
Those actresses are really good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Really impressive handoff.
I have felt the strife between our families of late, my queen. But we are one house. Long before that, we were friends.
We look like different people back then.
My son, Viserys, will inherit the Iron Throne after me. I propose we betroth him to your daughter, Laena. Ally ourselves.
They're finally getting along.
A dragon's egg is a handsome gift.
The king and I thank you for your offer, and we will consider it duly. You must rest now, husband.
Oh, Viserys just wants everyone to get along.
I know. And he's so terrible at making it happen.
We're a family. Let us put aside these childish quarrels. Join hands and be stronger for it.
You may do as you wish, husband. When I am cold in my grave.
Good framing.
God, they are both relentless, protective, and desperate.
Your Grace, I feel I have come to resign my position as Hand of the King.
What?
My man.
My son Harwin has disgraced himself, and every fishwife in King's Landing will soon be telling the tale. But there is a shadow over my house, and it grows ever darker. I can no longer serve you with integrity.
You're an upstanding guy.
You have so much integrity.
Such a gloom.
Yes. You must have your reasoning in plain.
Oh, my God, Alicent, Jesus Christ.
The one thing. You know it.
You will continue in your service to the crown.
I would then ask leave to take my son from court and escort him back to the family seat at Harrenhal, and will be Lord of Harren's castle one day. It is time he assumed his duties there.
Do it.
Oh, this is so good. So good. It's like
a master class.
Battle of protection and political war games.
Yes.
I love it. This is so good.
Self-interest and state
doesn't want
interest.
to know the truth at all.
I know. You're playing the old game, man. The game is changing.
It is now that I most rue the absence of my own father. He wouldn't hesitate to speak the truth to the king if Otto Hightower was still at hand.
You cannot say, my queen, that your father would be impartial in this matter.
No, but he would be partial to me.
Oh.
In all of King's Landing, is there no one to take my side?
So Larys is the hand, and his brother's the one sleeping with Rhanerya. He was a guard.
I am prepared to offer you mercy if you're prepared to pay a little price.
Oh. What?
Why? Why? Don't show it!
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I almost closed both my eyes for that.
I thought they would cut away and just imply.
I can't not.
Must push now, my lady.
I've reached the limit of my art. The child will not come.
My brave girl.
The child refuses to be born here.
We could lay open the womb. Try to remove the infant by way of the blade.
No.
Would the mother survive it?
No.
Oh.
Dracarys!
No.
Dracarys!
Oh.
Oh.
Laena!
Wow. That dragon really didn't want to do that.
Yeah, man. Loyal to one.
I will be a stranger when we meet again.
Damn. Criston, you know how to push all the right buttons, man.
Yep. It's a long game of getting back at somebody. Never recovered from that chink in his armor.
We will exchange letters by Raven. Won't that be fun?
Is Harwin strong, my father?
You are a Targaryen. That's all that matters.
Dude. Just say Laenor's your father.
To Dragonstone, then?
I should have left years ago.
If you were absent from court, she would pour her honey in your father's ear.
The wise sailor flees the storm as it gathers. Bring him.
Aww.
We'll need every sword we can muster.
Bring Kieran Culkin along.
The gay lives on?
Gay is okay at Dragonstone.
That was her save the cat moment.
Yeah. Save my husband's mistress boyfriend.
I'm worried something's going to happen to him.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
These
oh my
guys.
God, against his own brother. This world is so cruel. What a sick plan. Oh, that is ridiculous.
What a treachery. Jesus. Oh.
Oh, man.
Dude, that other son is a snake and a half.
Shit. Oh, hell's going to break loose.
All 7 of them.
Oh, this is not going to fly by well.
You surrender what you should not.
Oh, they both die.
You pass judgment.
The Queen makes a wish. What servant of the realm would not strive to fulfill it? I assume you will write to your father now?
Oh, I did not wish for this.
No, she did not.
But that's how he gets you.
This is so absorbingly dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. What a. Like they're all sordid and twisted, and there's so many intersections between personal and political and everything in between, and yet this one felt like the most of all that. Like, Jesus. So many twists of the knife. So many people burned alive.
I don't trust my family anymore.
Yeah, keep an eye on Jabby Koe. You're going to wake up in a locked room lit on fire.
I don't trust any of them. They're always looking out for themselves. Kill me in a heartbeat if it meant they could gain some power.
I just try to advise you free of personal gain. Free of personal self-interest, sir. Oh, my goodness gracious. Can't trust anyone. And you can't throw anything out there you don't expect somebody to act upon.
That was depressing as shit.
That was that was like so desolate and desperate and yeah. And just as tense. Like they're really good at, like, once you get started, even the chiller scenes are still sort of like your shoulders are up and you're like, I don't know, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, that was like stepping into a void. I think it's so well constructed. There's such a power to the right opening scene. I really believe in, you gotta nail that opening scene, and especially for such a time jump and almost like it just reframes the construction of like those previous episodes. You know, I once heard, I think it was Vince Gilligan who said there was some screenwriter once talked about. Actually, I think I heard it from Dan Murrell, who was quoting someone else, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. About if you're writing a pilot, you should write that pilot and then write the second episode, and that second episode's your pilot. And I was like, oh, that's actually
that is a great revelation.
It's a great tip. It's a fantastic tip.
Oh my God.
And then stepping into this, I was like, in some ways it sort of feels like this was the first episode.
Yes.
Obviously it wouldn't work as well, and you do need some additional context to really keep up. But in some ways it does feel like a first episode to a series. And then the other ones, I love how like this comes in the middle of it all, and then you have all that other supporting episodes prior to help elevate this episode. And it's so strong, and I think this show has such a great grasp on how to handle the in-between with the time jumps, because all the strained relationships and all the emotions that have been percolating throughout that have just been boiling over. Like you have someone like Alicent. What I love of the parallel that I've drawn with Alicent and Rhaenyra is like Alicent's so out to get Rhaenyra. Like she's just so out to get her.
She's been stung so many times.
And we've seen Alicent ascend to the position of queen through power of manipulation. Even though we witnessed it happen in a way where it didn't seem like she really wanted it, but her father, manipulated her into doing it to force her to do it. And now that she's here, she has embraced the position of queen. She is queen, and more importantly, she's a mother. She's a very protective mother. And you got the same thing with Rhaenyra, and they both just want to protect their families, their immediate families, their next of kin and stuff. And that's where so much of this mind games comes from, and trying to take each other down and stuff. But it's like how I always talk about, like, a big part of plotting is you don't want to just see plot unfold. You really want to see what will happen to characters via the plot, like what will become of them, what will change them. And I loved how, like, this whole episode, Alicent, played brilliantly by Olivia Cooke. Like, Alicent is just so headstrong and so determined, and just like try to cut through the bullshit. And I think that opening scene is so strong, of the way they paint the light. Like, you're capturing her from Rhaenyra's perspective. The show has pretty much put you in Rhaenyra's perspective, as she is the protagonist of the show. And when she gives birth, this struggle, and then immediately it's this like foreboding, ominous presence of like, what is Alicent like now?
Yeah. And
like,
why does she want to see this baby?
Does she want to kill the baby? What's going on?
No, she just wants to make sure.
She's like, ain't black. Yeah. Looks nothing like that guy.
Go back, try again. I'm not going to recognize this hair.
Yeah. This is a bullshit baby.
Bastard son.
And because like Alicent is frustrating at the same time. I'm like, well, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Yeah, she gets it. And the thing that this show's got me to become compassionate for her in an angle, because you don't want to see Rhaenyra taken down. You don't want to see Rhaenyra, that's the thing you don't want as an audience member. Like, I don't want to see Rhaenyra suffer. And yet Alicent is not wrong about what her pursuit is of the truth she's trying to expose.
Yeah.
Because she fears for the life of her children dying.
Yeah.
Where that's all according to the rules. Like, she has followed suit, and she seems like she's been faithful this entire time. Sure. Like, I was wondering, does she sleep her? And maybe the show will unveil that she does have some fun with someone else on the side. But the impression I get is that she abides by the rules.
Yeah.
That she follows through, and it is like, it's so well constructed, how none of this is black and white, and I love how it's just all like just messed up families. Everyone's just so messed up.
Yeah, well, you can feel how and why people act the way they do, even if it hurts or even if you don't, want. Yeah, even if you're rooting for one character or another, you can't help but see where each one is coming from. And I thought, Alicent has a really great and fascinating journey over this, and all that groundwork they laid really does hold up because, like that ending beat where she finds out that Sun Strong, whatever that guy's name is with the cane, when she finds out what Larys, there you go. Yeah, she finds out what he really did, and you can tell, like, oh, this is probably her moment to cross over to the other side of, like, oh, now I'm in some kind of disastrous circumstance I didn't ask to be a part of, and I'm now in the game. I feel like part of what you get to watch characters do is either indulge in or abstain the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And so now she, like it or not, has been pulled into it despite her best efforts. And it's like those foundations make so much sense when you see, like, her father, that last scene she had with him after putting so much faith in Rhaenyra, and then you see the way they interact now, Alicent and Rhaenyra interact, and it's like you can tell that deep, 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 deep down there's that wish of, like, there's that bond we used to have. It's somewhere in there, but I just can't trust you anymore. I can't put my faith in you anymore, no matter what game you talk. And you can feel the strain of the history of the characters, but also you can really feel the immediacy, like when she has that scene with Aegon, that wild scene with Aegon where she, like, grabs his face and is like, no, like, she might try and eliminate you. Like, you see the corner she's been pushed into, and I love that one bit she says, because I really felt it for her, as much as everybody has their opinion. When she says that thing of, like, I don't have anybody in my corner. Like, nobody is lying on my behalf. Nobody is at least taking what I have to say seriously. And I really felt that for her. I was like, I get it. You're in a very thankless position, and you're pretty much doing it alone.
She is doing it alone.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even have the support of her husband.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because he's like, I just want everyone to get along. That's definitely the right child. All those kids.
And you feel
you
like
don't see the black.
And I feel like so much, and it creates a fascinating scenario because I'm like, I don't even think King Viserys would need to do, like, the full-on letter of the law, because everybody, like, part of the charm of these shows and part of the truth of the matter is everybody stands on the ceremony, even though everybody knows that to some degree or another the ceremony is bullshit and built on lies. And I don't know. I lost my train of thought there.
Ceremony, train of lies.
Yeah, it's that thing of, oh yeah, if Viserys had even just, I don't know, had a straight talk with her, I feel like so much trouble could be averted. But it's his, like, staunch adherence to, he plays the willful ignorance really well, because you can tell he knows the truth, and you can also see him creating lies for himself to believe and then pass off as truth.
Well, he has to believe it, because if he doesn't believe it, that's condemnation for his daughter.
Yeah, he has to exile and kill her.
Because it's not like she just gets, she doesn't just get in trouble. She's dead.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he does love her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's, I love the dejected nature of every character portrait here, because everyone's so retreated and has to live under a guise. Like, all Alicent wants, like, personally, my favorite performance in this episode was Olivia Cooke. I thought she was very gripping.
Yeah.
And because she's so on edge, and it's just such a desperation for truth. And I do think, who's playing Rhaenyra? Emma Dar? I got her name pulled up here.
Darcy.
Emma Darcy.
Darcy. DRC.
Fantastic. So internal.
Yeah.
And I love a good I love a good performance where you have to, it's very physical and you have to keep it together. There's a truth underneath the surface, but you can't let on. Yeah. Like that whole beautiful shot where it's the afterbirth situation she's got going on, and she's trying to walk through the halls and demonstrate character and strength, and be protective of her newborn. And she's got to, like, just not leave a trail of blood, but also not look like she's suffering here, and has to be strong. And every scene she has, there's so much going on underneath her dialogue. There's and the reactions that she's having towards Oh my God, totally blank on his name. There's a lot of names here, people. What is the name of the husband who's
Laenor?
Laenor. Like every moment with Laenor, and then Laenor has just escaped into a life of it's just pure escapism for the guy. Debauchery, having fun, messing around, partying. He's like a college kid who can't get in touch with his emotions, you know?
Yeah.
Like a dude who just went through the worst heartbreak.
Fight, man.
Yeah, it's like I love that the last episode was that dreadful wedding moment where everything fell apart for them and truths have been coming out. Like people know the truth, but it's just not public knowledge right now, or something that no one can just talk about. And you catch up to here and you watch how everyone's changed since that moment in time. Like Criston is so angry. Like he was such a sweetheart. He was so sweet. He was like the gentlest spirit. And then here he's so Alicent and wants revenge, like you said, playing the long game. It doesn't even. It's like he doesn't strike me as a character who would say I'm seeking revenge, but it's going to be coming out in all the most bitter, envious ways possible.
Oh yeah,
and that whole taunting and using the children as a way to wring out the truth from. Oh my God!
Oh, from
Harwin Strong.
Break bones.
Yeah, from Harwin was such a powerful scene because they're using. The kids are the truth to the whole situation.
Yeah.
And nothing is more evokes something so primal, and nothing speaks more volumes of truth than the defensive nature.
Well, and two, you get to watch him play a mirror almost to like moments he's had in the past. It's like he has that moment with Alicent where he's just like, the guilt is too much, I need to say something. You know, like he reveals himself and he basically lures Harwin into the same kind of situation and then combines it with his little wedding display. It's like, yeah, man, now you know how I feel. Break it and wail on me for a minute and then, expose yourself, like play right into my trap.
And then Daemon is a character who... when you meet this character, he's someone who seemed to want it all. Like he wanted it all. And he's hidden away from a lot of those desires now. It's obviously there, but it's brewed, like this coldness has brewed over him, which has also allowed again for this great fleshing out of character of it's kind of like those movies where you got that badass past character who kind of like I don't know why this is the one that comes to mind. It's not the best representation, but decently apt. Bob Odenkirk in fucking Nobody.
Okay,
as the kind of character is like, I got a badass past, and I've had to push it away, and I like my family.
Yeah,
but there is this other urge inside of me, but I have to hide from it. And even though he hides from it, it's led to what looked like a relationship where he actually did love her.
Sure.
And that ugliness still managed to give me a word, John.
To emerge.
Yeah, sure.
Resurface.
Trying to think of a word. It's like grows like a virus.
Seeped back in.
Yeah, I guess that works. Yeah. Like to seep back in.
He relapsed into
the
it.
ugliness will overtakes a situation again, and then led to the death of her in a way that was so because I really liked her, and she was the one with the most heart, the mom.
I was gonna say this is the episode where the two characters who demonstrated the most like genuine either heart or just like non-self-interested honor both got flamed.
Yeah,
in this episode.
Everyone's so many like little fingers here.
I know everyone's amateur little finger.
Everyone's an amateur little finger. They're all just like plotting against each other. Because you have this strong. It's interesting how you have, who was there's Lyonel, there's Larys, and who's the dad? The hand.
Yeah. Where is he?
Fine. No. It is Lyonel. Lyonel and Harwin.
Harwin is the son.
Yes.
The City Watch,
yes.
and then Larys is the conniving son.
Because Lyonel seems to uphold the most integrity,
Sure.
and then you have Harwin, who doesn't seem like a bad guy. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad guy at all. But he does not follow through with the rules and is committing an act that could lead to some terrible things. And you got Larys, who's just like sneezy and conniving. Yeah. Sneezy. Sleazy.
Sleazy.
Yeah.
He's slimy.
Yeah.
And it just hit me that that's the conversation that Viserys has with Lyonel like a few episodes back when he steps up to him and Viserys is all drunk and he's like, I bet you want to marry my daughter off to Sir Breakbones, your son, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, fancy idea, but no, sir. And sure enough, it essentially happened, even though it's not really of his design, and then it leads to his death. Like, that's a great portent, like a great ironic foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I feel like what they do with Daemon is fascinating because you expect him to be almost like a Joffrey at the outset, just because he has this sort of wild and
that's Aegon.
Soon enough, yeah. But I don't know. He comes in with this very sort of almost amoral, just like, I don't know, he could do anything at any time, kind of feral energy. And now to watch him as he is kind of like the most simmered down version of that, and you're like, you can tell that impulsive guy is still in there. But as you contemplate just like settling down and getting fat, and then also, I love the unspoken notes. Like, I feel like so much of his actual character is never in the dialogue, because like their connection kind of fascinated me there. Like, it, and to draw contrast from like the first episode where it's like Viserys has the back and forth with himself about like, what do I do? Do I cut the baby out? Does the mom and then to watch Daemon have to go through that here, but it felt so different, and it does feel like he cares and just can't communicate that truly.
Yeah.
Like the way he stumbles to the beach just in time to watch her, be incinerated with their unborn child. Like,
I didn't even know her that, and it was getting me so emotional. It was such a powerful moment. I was tearing up at that moment. It's so powerful. Like, there's something very connective and I think relatable of that feeling of like, I'm asking your own pet to murder you, to put you out of your, like, this is the way I gotta go out. Like, she said when she died, how'd she say she wanted to die? Was it battlefield or by fire? I forget what she said.
A dragon rider's death.
Dragon rider's death. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like the way they animated the dragon in that moment of just this, like, you could feel what the dragon's thinking. Like, I don't understand.
No.
Yeah.
I can't. You're the only person I answer to. You're my bonded rider. I can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just pleading for it to happen.
Daemon, I feel like the new trope of Daemon is he's going to have a wife or something who shows up one episode. You're like, yeah, I really like you. You're interested. Oh, no, you're dead now.
Yeah.
You're gone. But like, it was so heartbreaking because they have that whole debate, which felt very real. Of like, no, I want our next child to be born, in the house of my father. I want the kids to grow up there. I want them to know their birthright. And now, like, all of that goes up in flames, like, literally.
Yeah,
it's like it's heartbreaking, and it also, I don't know.
And she also knows him well.
Yeah, it seems though.
Like, you can pick. He's defensive because she's prodding at truths, of this guy he's denying what he really wants, but then he indulges himself with reading about the legacy dragon riders and stuff, the kind he fancied himself to ascend to.
Yeah, and
he blocks it because and you kind of get it because like back home it's a fucking nightmare what's going on there.
This whole business is such a horrible situation for everyone, no matter what rung of the ladder you're on.
Yeah,
that's the main lesson I learned from this show is never be involved in ruling and statecraft, because it's just gonna destroy your life and your morality and your morale.
Yeah, and what I'm really liking about this show, especially with like historical fantasy pieces, it's usually like good versus evil, or there's an outside force that threatens our main characters, or and in some ways, like even with the Crab King, Crab Feeder, Crab King is SpongeBob. With the Crab Feeder, with the Crab Feeder at the offset, it was seeming, for people who haven't read the book, it was seeming like, okay, this is the big bad or something. Like, this is the threat to Targaryens. And no, they do away with that. And again, the threat is everything internal. Everything is like it's the thing that is going to bring a crumbling to the legacy is not, and maybe I'm wrong, but this is the way the show seems to be painting is that it's going to be all within and not because people attacked him or like we're taking King's Landing.
Yeah. No, it's all just lies and truths placed in inopportune and opportune places.
Yeah.
You're just watching, as lies get worse and truths come at inappropriate or not inappropriate. I guess there's never a bad time for truth, but like horrifically inopportune moments.
And it's really the journey that I'm again, what I brought up at the beginning of this talk was like the plot is so interesting to unfold, but I'm so intrigued to see like what dark depths are characters like Alicent and Rhanerya gonna descend to as the more this goes on.
I'm so worried about both of them.
Because that was the thing with Alicent, like as disturbed as she is by the revelation of the truth of what happened to the Strongs, it's, and I like the symbolism of the Strongs. But how disturbed she was by that revelation, you're like, well, it's only gonna get worse for you, man. You're gonna have to do worse shit. You're
gonna be
ain't gonna be happy to learn about this piece of information.
You're gonna turn into Lady Macbeth. Because I mean, now you've got blood on your own hands, and now you can't, cling to the fact that you've always tried to, do everything by the book and stand on the ceremonies.
And you have, I forgot his name again. I'm sorry. What's the husband's name? Laenor.
Laenor. Yeah.
With Laenor, I worry about the way he behaves because he seems to lack such. Because as much as being like, I'm committed, I've done everything for my 10-year plan, I'm owed. There seems to be this. He's going to slip up, and he's going to get himself caught and exposed, and
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he lays low or does anything with any level of secrecy.
Yeah, there's a bit of this childish quality to him.
Yeah.
That remains.
Yeah, he kind of has an entitled sort of obliviousness.
Not like a devious, borderline maniacal nature in the way of how Daemon is. It's
no, quite the opposite.
You're like, no, you're gonna like slip up and do something that's gonna get you all in trouble. You're gonna get caught. You're not helping the situation.
And it's not. This isn't a gripe, but I do want to wring both their necks. Like, guys, there must have been a way for you guys to at least have one child together. You had to know this was going to turn into a complete disaster.
I thought that's what they were going to do.
I thought that's what they were going to do.
That's why I was like, but wait, you got to have a kid. I guess they can just force it to happen.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of, throughout history, there are probably plenty of men who are forced into, hetero marriages and had kids.
Yeah,
it's definitely possible. But yeah, I'm sitting here going, man, I feel like you guys could have been a little smarter about this. Like, I feel like you could have, again, have a couple bastards, but get one.
Yeah, they just needed one.
Because also, too, like, you're in the position where it's like, of course, people are going to notice, unfortunately, because, you are of such different lineage.
Like, yeah, there's a whole plot line about it, and me, myself, and I read.
Is there really? It's good. That's what they probably drew inspiration for.
Big farts. So it's just so funny to me.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Not in its entirety. No, I've seen a couple of the very, very well-known moments.
His wife cheats on him.
Okay.
In the beginning with a black guy.
Oh no.
Then gives birth to like triplets, who are
all
like completely black, and he just doesn't register. Like, that's not his kids.
Of course. Yes. Of course. I like it.
And I'm like, well, come on, it's so obvious. Like, they don't look at all.
That's gonna be the problem.
It's the biggest dead giveaway.
I was like,
it would be one thing if they were white, and maybe you could get away with some bullshit. But the fact that like, the eyes look off or something. But I'm like, no. I mean, there's a whole other aspect to this that we are not talking about.
Yeah,
here.
mixed race babies are they're mixed race babies. You can tell when that's happened.
I'm surprised they don't even say that in the show.
I know.
I'm like, maybe in the book. I don't know if in the book if the characters are like with
black folks.
I don't know, yeah, is there like another word for black people back then? I don't know. That's not a racist word, but actual like
Valyrians.
historical word or some shit.
Yeah.
Some George R.R. Martin word.
African,
because they don't call them white people, you know, they call them Valyrians and everything.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, I would be. I'm surprised they don't. No one's bringing up the skin tone. I'm like, that's the biggest dead giveaway, guys.
I mean, yeah, they have that whole horses conversation, and even that, I was like, dude, Viserys, I appreciate you, and we probably didn't know as much about animals at the time, but it's not quite the same. You know, yeah, and like you can have a cat give a litter, and all the cats are different colors and shit, but like I don't know, it's a little different when you got two humans and you do your little gene splicing tic-tac-toe.
There's a skit to be made about this whole discussion. James Corden, bring it on.
Do it.
Make it happen, Corden.
Get a wig and some costumes and do it. But yeah, man, this
Rhaenyra is just so white that it overshadows.
Yeah, the dominant
That's why they have brunette hair.
Yeah, and brown eyes. Yeah. Or
it's
like
canceling it out.
Hazel
is
blue
what's
eyes,
happening.
straight brown hair. that's the I guess the deadest giveaway is they're both so blonde, and none of their kids have any
true.
likeness
They're
to their
both
hair.
really blonde. That's
Like,
true. That is so true.
And it seems like in the Targaryen clan, you know, the blonde hair genes are usually blonde is a recessive gene scientifically, but in the Targaryen and the Velaryon, you know, lineage, it seems pretty dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even Alicent she's a Hightower, right? Alicent Hightower.
Yeah.
And she's brunette, and her kids are way blonde.
Yeah.
They're not even like dirty blonde.
No.
They are just as blonde as they get. They're
I know.
beacon of light right there.
Like you've got so much working against you, guys. And at least, even if you weren't smart on the first kid, at least by the second one, be like, we need a blonde baby. At least a blonde baby. It would be nice if the baby was also of mixed racial background, because then that would be
I could totally like. I've seen it where like we know the Henrys.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone kind of had like they were all like dark olive skin, brown hair, brown eyes, and then there was David who was like pale as shit and like blue eyes, and it was like, I don't know how this happened, but hey, it's
somewhere in the genetics.
But 3 in a row with these guys.
3 in a row, they all look pretty similar to each other.
Yeah. And they all. That's why Daemon's just like blunt sarcasm line.
Oh, that was so.
Because the king pointed out how he looks a lot like Arwen Strauss. It's just so funny. It's just like, yeah, they do.
Hurts so bad.
Even the kids can pick up on it.
Even Daemon knows that he ain't been back in forever. Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing. I don't know. That's the fascinating part is watching all of this structure and then watching everybody talk the truth underneath it. You know?
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, this is great shit.
We can talk forever about this.
Thank y'all for being here. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below. And let's end this with shouting out some patrons. Thank you all. Zachary Barker, you're sharper.
Irfan Chowdhury, Yuri, my type. You're cool. I like you.
Taki Waki Maki.
Ian Neil Simons, California Sweet.
Songhai Glover, you're made of rubber.
Jacob Neptune, you're gold like doubloons.
NMB, you're so silly.
It never stops with fan pops.
I pick up my phone when it rings from Alan Ling.
Logan, profile pic looks kind of like Barry Cogan Burton.
No need to fear you, Kira.
I am drawn to Eric Hans 39 times over.
Kusi, you make my cheeks so mushy.
Bear in the garage, you're a flare amid the barrage of you stand out.
I create a hex around my heart for Nick X.
Juan Longoria never gonna bore ya.
You never make me feel like I fail when I hang out with Miss Ferguson, a.k.a. Gale.
You're such a hottie, Mohammed Al-Sharani.
Jaron Wanner, you're as strong as Bruce Banner.
Cliff Rodriguez better do what he says.
It's gonna be okay when you're around Alex Day.
Master Tenebrae. Movie title.
John the Goat makes me feel warm like a big hot coat.
Always a slam dunk when you're playing with Andy Funk.
Lorenzo Baxter, pump it faster.
The rain in Spain falls differently sane on the plain.
Don't ever try to kill Marco Tunstall.
I never have to force myself to want to hang out with Lauren, American Horse. There's a rhyme in there somewhere if you find it.
My home was raided by Simply Fated. With my mom, he corroborated.
Ooh-wee, the things you do to me, Joanna St. Louis. Hee.
There's a smell in the debris. I think it's Rogue Cree.
Sour Jellyfish 94.
Don't get me starting on all the farting by Justin Martin.
Rosie, never nosy, Beatty, no Haiti.
Colin, you got me ballin' when I see you hanging out with Joseph Stalin.
Philip Jughead Smith Jr.
I feel my body's width when I see Jen Smith because she's so in shape and it makes me feel fat by comparison.
Honk honk for Melanie LeBlanc. If you support Melanie, we support you.
TJ Trackus with Hibiscus.
Hibiscus, definitely.
That's a sauce.
Yeah.
I think.
I love a good TJ Hibiscus sauce.
Anyway, guys, thanks so much for being part of our Patreon page. And your support is undeniable because there's evidence.
It's here, yeah.
It's evidence,
it's
and there's
recorded for
receipts.
us monthly.
So thank you.